Basketball, baseball.
Santa Clara.
Santa Clara.
To be specific. That's where we want to go.
Yeah.
We want to make 2 trips to the West Coast this year.
New York and San Diego.
I love San
I'm
Diego.
all for it if you want to do that.
Yeah, hey, let's go. I don't know, y'all better let's start budgeting right now. Budget time's coming up, right?
Oh,
put it in the
way
budget.
past that.
Oh, we're way over that. You're way over already. Yeah,
We're done.
I can't tell you how many people 3 years ago they were like get letters, or I would talk to people and they'd say, Coach, we just we had to go. I mean, we had to go to the Orange Bowl, and we had to go to Arizona. I mean, it's once in a lifetime opportunity. They're like, now we got no money left. It's like, so, I was like, oh, but anyway, it's great. It's great. But I'm pumped about our basketball team. I mean, it's like 10 o'clock Friday night. Holy cow. But, I mean, really cool. I know I'd like for them to be closer, but get to go to San Diego, that'll be a great experience for them. And just really proud of Brad and to see what they've done this year, especially losing Dante. You lose your best player, and yet you still win. I don't know what they win, 23, 24 games or something like that. I mean, it's just awesome year, and to finish 4th or whatever they finished in the conference is a huge accomplishment for them. So hopefully they can get a little Lady Mo going their way and see if we can hang around for a little while.
A lot of visitors today. Looks like Oklahoma State. A lot of coaches in.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I had Boise State was here last week. Really enjoyed visiting with Coach Harsin. Just a friendship I've developed over the last couple of years. And Neil Brown and Troy was here today. And then the Oklahoma State offensive staff's here. So yeah, we've had a lot of people coming through. A lot of high school coaches. That's one of the fun things about this year is usually you get an opportunity to speak with a lot of people and study. That's the cool thing I think about our profession in the coaching profession is, we're all competitors, we all compete, but very seldom do you see Coke sit down with Pepsi in the off season, or McDonald's sit down with Wendy's and go, well, how was your year? Let's talk about it, But in the coaching profession, you have a lot of that camaraderie, and so it's good, because we're trying to get better. We're trying to get better, and so appreciate those guys coming, and I just always tell people if you're coming, you can't just withdraw, you got to deposit too. So we try to learn as much as we can from all these coaches that come through here, the high school coaches, the college coaches. We've got our clinic coming up here in a couple weeks. Coach Peterson from the Eagles is going to come and be our speaker. Excited about that. But it's been good, man. I tell you, we just had day 7, and so our first scrimmage is Wednesday, and so the first half of spring has really been a lot of installation, a lot of what to do, and a lot of how to do it. Now we got to go kind of see where they are and see who can really put it together, and see how many consistent, dependable guys we can find and develop. But it's been a lot of fun. This is probably the fastest first half of spring I've been around. It just, for whatever reason, it just seems like it's flying by. But we're having a lot of fun. The guys are competing, and maybe that's part of it. It's just so competitive every single day on the practice field. The practices go fast. There's just no lulls. But it's been good. I think the spirit of the team is beyond what you would even hope it to be. And guys are pushing each other. This team likes each other. They compete, but they like each other. And hopefully we can continue to stay healthy. We've been pretty fortunate there this first half, but sooner or later you got to go play, and so that's kind of what Wednesday's about. We've tried to cover all the situations in the first 7 days. So get everybody on the field and let them go play. Some of these guys in the stadium for the first time in a scrimmage setting. I'm anxious to see how that goes, but so far so good.
Coach, when we talked to you last Wednesday, you're looking for a little more consistency out of the wide receivers, guys like T and DeAndre. Have you seen that in the last couple of practices?
Yeah, I think again that's one of the reasons we've been a good team, a consistent team, is because it's hard on our practice field, and when you don't quite have your motor running like you should, you have some days like we had that day. But it's been good to see some of these guys respond. I mean, because it's hard work out there. those DBs and those wideouts you're talking about elite athletes that are grinding each other up every single day, but they're getting better. They're getting better. They don't really have a choice, and so I've been really pleased with all those guys.
These guys starting to maybe push Kelly a little bit, or is he still light years ahead of them?
Oh, they're all doing well. I mean, they all got good days. They all got great plays. They all got some plays they'd like to have back. But we're got a competitive bunch, and all four of them are fighting and scratching and clawing every day to be the guy, and that's what I love. So Kelly's been really good, but those other guys are catching on and competing hard.
Secondary, you starting to see some guys maybe step to the front a little bit?
Well, I tell you, those first three corners are really good. Trayvon and AJ and Mark, all three of those guys are just kind of another level right now. And Lee Anthony's coming along. I feel really good about our safeties right now. I'm very pleased with. Kayvon has had a great spring. Tanner has played well, made big plays in the past, but he's working on some areas in his game where he needs to improve. Just discipline and being consistent with his eyes. But I tell you, the two guys I'm really excited about is Nolan Turner and Denzel. Those two guys they've taken a huge step forward, and so I'm very pleased with those four guys. And then Isaiah is still working some safety, but he's settling in right there at that nickel Sam and doing a great job picking that up.
You've been really optimistic about Jordan Williams making that transition, defensive tackle. Talked to Christian last week. He said he's going to be in his grill all season long. How invaluable is it to have someone like that and Dexter Lawrence to be able to kind of take this guy under their wing?
I mean, we're just very fortunate. Some years are different than other years. Sometimes you're just inexperienced and you're just coaching on the run, and you're talented guys, and you just know they're going to go. You got to go through a process with them, but to have. We got several guys that could probably be starting on some years here, but they've got these veteran guys, and they're pushing them. But what I love is those young guys are pushing those veterans too, because they've just got this unbelievable amount of energy. Xavier and KJ. I mean, they're relentless, and it's fun because I think they are talented enough to push those older guys. Not that they need to be pushed. They're just because they're self-motivated guys and they bring it every day. But it's just a lot of fun. And the same thing inside to see, Dexter, who's not doing any of the live work, but he's coaching every play. And to see Christian, I mean, Christian loves that. Christian loves to. Well, he likes to teach, as y'all know. So he loves that part. Taking those young guys under his wing and challenging them, and he stays after practice. We got a good group. Jordan is had a great spring, and Niles Pinckney has really come on. He's a redshirt sophomore. This is really love what I see out of him right now. His body language, his focus. Josh Belk is going to be a great player. Goodness gracious, he's got all the tools, but. Sometimes you forget he's 18. He's just a young man in a grown man's body right now, who's dealing with Huggins and Niles and Dexter and Christian, guys that have been around here, and he's just thrown right in that much, but he's going to be really good. So it's a good group. They're all doing a great job.
What are you seeing of your two guard spots?
We've been cross-training guys, mixing and matching. I mean, we've moved guys around. We even had John out at left tackle today a little bit, just bouncing people all around. This is the time of year to do that stuff. But that's one of the things I love about Robbie is he cross-trains them. Gage is working a lot of guard. Really pleased with Pollard and John, that first group. Those two guys have done a nice job. It took him a couple days, I think, to settle in because he really hadn't worked much guard. Young guy, just trying to get him good at a spot, and we were in pretty good shape at guard his first couple of years. but this year it was kind of, trying to get the best 5, and so it took him. It's just different. It's different in there, and he's really done a nice job. But I'm pleased with Gage. Cade Stewart is going to be a good player. I mean, he's having a really good spring. Bycourse is mixing in there. We're working Carmen at left tackle right now, and we're going to probably mix him in there a little bit at guard too. But it's just it's a good group. They're all doing fine. I mean, they're all getting a ton of reps. That's the other thing I'm very pleased with their spring is the amount of reps we've got. Our tempo has been outstanding.
So with Simmons, what are the challenges, I guess, of learning that?
It just alignments, his eyes. I mean, there's a lot to it. It's not like, there's a lot to the safety position too. But when you're down in the box, I mean, the run fits. You do a lot of pressures from that position, and then coverage. I mean, you got to be able to cover if you're going to be an every down type player. So, because you don't want to always, have to protect them with somebody over the top. You want to be able to disguise your looks and pressures, and so from time to time you got to be able to lock up the cover. That's what McDorian's so unique, because he could do that. And then here he comes off the edge, and he's a great run fitter. When they did try to run at his side, but just alignments, recognition. But he's doing a really good job. I mean, he's doing a great job. Jalen's been awesome. He's had a great spring. He's savvy, understands. I mean, he doesn't have some of the measurables that Isaiah has, but he's a very productive player. And I mean, he's definitely a guy that'll be a factor there. But Isaiah he's different. He brings great athleticism and length, and but yet he's still got that physicality that you like to have at that spot. So just things happen faster than when you're back there, on the back end.
Dabo, on the defensive side of the ball, a couple defensive ends that haven't been mentioned: Richard Yeargin and Xavier Kelly. Talk to us about those two guys.
Richard's out there every day. He's just, he's like Dexter. He's just doing team separate and all the individual, doing good. But they're just not cleared him to do full live work yet. So he's not doing any competitive work. But he's doing good. I mean, sharp. I'll be excited when we can cut him loose. And then Xavier's getting better. He's getting better. He's still a little inconsistent at times, but then he'll flash, and that's kind of where he is right now. He's a flash guy, but we've got to get him just that consistency day in and day out, and just continue to develop his confidence in what he's doing. He's just going to be a sophomore. He's on that track.
I know tempo has been a priority for your offense this spring. Is that one of the big things you'll be evaluating on Wednesday in the scrimmage?
Oh yeah. That's what I love when we have the crews here, the ACC crews, because they can, you get a very realistic measure of how you're doing. But we've done it. It's been good at practice. I mean, I've tried to drive it and keep us on schedule there. But guys have responded. I've been very pleased with that. And part of that is just having a lot of guys that know what they're doing, and they can kind of go to the next level. Just like those defensive line guys. I mean, those guys, they're not just talented, they're savvy. I mean, they're experienced and smart. And when you have that, you play faster. It's just a natural. And that's where we are right now offensively. I think our tempo will be much better, this year than where it was last year.
Jackson Carmen walked by, one of the biggest human beings I think I've seen in a long time. Maybe too big. But what does he have to do to get into that conversation to play?
Yeah, well, he's just got to go through the process. I mean, it's hard. I mean, you got talented guys that just know more right now, and he's just doing exactly what he's got to do. He's got to, first of all, he's got to lean up a little bit. He's a big guy, and he can move, but he'll be a different guy when we get about 20 pounds off of him. And he's committed to that. He's doing a great job and trying to buy into what he's got to do to get his body where it needs to be to really help him perform at his highest level. But he can, he'll be, because he can bend, but he'll be able to bend better. But the biggest thing is just knowledge. I mean, just knowledge. I mean, them guys, man, they got like 39 pressures in, you know, on defense. I mean, it's just almost not fair, you know, to some of those young offensive linemen because there's a lot of moving parts. You know, they're very seldom in one spot and they're all over the place. And
Brent doesn't hold back.
you know, Brent is hard, you know, but it's just like I said. I mean, we've got a lot of pressures, a lot of looks. But like I said, very seldom if he lines up there does he stay there, and you know, it's a lot on a young guy. It's a very, very hard position to pick up, but he's doing great. Actually, I'm incredibly pleased with him because he's not afraid to fail. You know, that's what I like about him. Some young guys come in and they're afraid to fail because, you know, they're supposed to live up to some, you know, like they're just supposed to be, especially big guys. But he's not afraid to fail. He knows, he's very self-aware, but he likes it. He likes football. He likes practice. He likes the physicality of it, and he wants to get better. And when you have that mindset and you have the talent that he has, you're going to get better. So he just got to continue to do what he's doing, and that's just show up and bring it every day. And, you know, he's getting coached hard, Coach Caldwell, but he's going to be a great player for us.
Coach, you covered basketball. Baseball team is ranked as high as number 2, 15-1. Have you been able to make your way to Doug King's?
I haven't. I was going to go this weekend, but I'm just going to tell you, it was too dang cold.
Got that right.
Hey, man, I am a bad, cold baseball guy. But I've kept up. I've listened to the radio. I've had fun listening to Spires and KP and some of the guys. That's been fun. But awesome start. I mean, just so proud of where we are. You know, Monty's doing an awesome job, and you know, I mean, he'll be the first to tell you they got a long way to go. But you know, they just seem to have a great mindset right now that it's next pitch. You know, I was listening to the game on the radio. I think they were playing Michigan State maybe a week or so ago. They were in Greenville, and it's like, I don't know where I was going, but I was in the car, and it was like 6-0. I'm like, crap, I'm getting our butts kicked. And then I get back in the car, and it's like 6-6. I'm like, what happened? And this is college baseball, you know? It's like they had some
9-inning fifth.
Yeah. I mean, it's unbelievable. But that's hard to do, and especially, you know, because a lot of times you get down like that, if you're not mature enough or you don't have the right ingredients within your team, locker room, you know, that game can get away quick. But to see them kind of dig in and just say, okay, it just takes one. One guy gets hit, one guy gets a walk, you know, whatever. One guy steals a base, and next thing you know, you got a couple runs, and they just have this belief, you know. So, because baseball is a hard game, man. There's a lot of failure in baseball, as we know, but they've got a belief that, you know, they're going to win. And I think Monty and the staff, man, that doesn't just happen. They've done a good job of instilling that in that team.
Said the coach of the Orange Crush.
That's right. We haven't started yet, but we're soon. We're soon. We got C-team ball right now, but we'll be breaking training here soon.
Anything else?
That's it.